The firefighters were alerted to a situation involving a dog trapped underground, prompting them to quickly take action. Their remarkable efforts to rescue the dog are nothing short of incredible and will leave you astonished. The stunning countryside surrounding her home in Shropshire, UK, had always been close to Kay's heart. With its picturesque rolling hills, lush valleys, and verdant green fields, it was a sight to behold. The sheer beauty of the place was awe-inspiring, and Kay cherished every moment spent amidst it. Along with her furry companion, Cookie, she frequently explored the magnificent outdoors, marveling at the breathtaking scenery that lay right outside her door. Reflecting on her earlier days in the Shropshire countryside, Kay acknowledged the preciousness of her current surroundings and made a conscious effort to never take them for granted. The view from her bedroom window was nothing short of extraordinary, and Kay felt grateful for her good fortune. She acknowledged that not everyone in the world had the privilege of such a breathtaking view. Kay and Cookie treasured their home's location, and their gratitude for it was evident in their walks amidst the stunning scenery. However, on a fine and clear day as they took a walk, Cookie suddenly darted off, which was uncharacteristic of the well-behaved pup. This type of breed was a terrier, though, and that breed is renowned for chasing and hunting small animals such as rabbits. While Cookie usually ignored them when she spotted them, it was clear that she just couldn't resist the look of this particular rabbit. She zoomed off, following the trail of the fleeing little animal. Terriers are small in stature, you see, making them the perfect hunters. Not only are they very fast, but they can fit into rabbit holes and even hunt them underground. The rabbit sped across a field, and Cookie ran off to her, tirelessly running and yapping at the little fast-paced animal. Kay tried shouting Cookie back, but she wasn't listening and continued hunting her prey across the vast fields. Even when Kay whistled and shook a small box of treats, the dog merely looked over its shoulder before carrying on with its chase. This really frustrated Kay, as the treat box usually worked, but what happened next wiped away all of Kay's frustration and replaced it with worry and fear. The rabbit bolted into a freshly dug tunnel, and Cookie, being the overexcited and overstimulated hunting dog that she was, dove in after it. But while the rabbit was fast and zoomed off into the darkness, Cookie caused the tunnel to start to become unstable. As she tried to wedge herself further into the hole, the ground started collapsing around her. The tunnel fell in on itself, and Cookie was left quite literally stranded underground. Kay, who had witnessed the entire thing, was beside herself with fear and worry. She tried to uncover the dog, digging frantically with her hands, but Cookie was too deep underground, and far too buried for her to find on her own. She could hear very faint, muffled sounds, clearly coming from the trapped, confused, and panicked dog. What could Kay do? How could she save Cookie? Would he even come out alive? Keep watching the video to find out how this tragic tale ends. She just bolted off, said Kay, remembering how shocked she was when Cookie did such a thing. One minute she was walking by my side, just trotting next to me, and the next she shot off after this rabbit. The last thing I saw of her was her leaping into the air and disappearing into the ground down the rabbit hole. It was certainly out of character for Cookie, though I wasn't too concerned until I saw the hole collapsing. That's when I really got that sinking feeling in my stomach, unsure of what to do next. A panicked Kay called 999 and asked for the fire department. She explained the situation and told them that she and Cookie desperately needed help. Luckily, the firefighter on the other end of the phone was a dog lover and understood the pain and anguish of a pet being trapped. He agreed that he and his crew would be on the scene as soon as possible. As it was out in the Shropshire countryside, it wouldn't be the most easy thing to get to, but they would make it. Kay just had to sit tight for a little bit. As she waited, Kay continued to frantically dig with her hands, all the while listening out for any sign Cookie was still alive down there. She got cuts on her hands and fingers and broke many nails, but it didn't matter to Kay. She just wanted her dog back. Eventually, the sound of a fire engine could be heard, and it made its way up the field and to the site of the trapped dog. But the firefighters faced quite a huge job when they got out of their fire truck. The entrance to the warren had been masked, and there were no sounds coming from the underground area, meaning the dog had worked its way a little further along the underground maze. This meant that they would have to use specialist equipment to figure out exactly where the dog was. But luckily, they had come prepared, as well as being armed with a shovel. The firefighters also had audio equipment that could listen to the grout more closely and infrared equipment to help pinpoint Cookie's exact location. "We knew that it was going to be an uphill battle," said the lead firefighter, remembering back to attending the incident. "The warrens run for miles and miles underground, so if the dog had managed to work its way any further along the tunnel, then it would make our job much more difficult. That was the number one thing that we were most concerned about when we arrived on the scene." The firefighters started off by using the listening equipment to try to find the approximate area where any noise was coming from. The equipment was usually used during building collapses, and this was the first time that they were using it to find a dog that was trapped underground, but the idea was still the same. Once they discovered some sounds, then the firefighters started digging in that area, hoping to stumble upon the collapsed warren and maybe the poor trapped dog. After several hours, it seemed like nothing was going to work though. They couldn't properly pinpoint the noises, and no matter how much they dug, they couldn't find the warren. They had to dig slowly and gently too, in fear of injuring Cookie with a shovel. It really was slow and painstaking work, and as time went on, it seemed less and less likely that this story was going to have a happy ending, and Kay was going to be reunited with Cookie. But as the sun started to set over the beautiful country, there was a breakthrough. Firefighters pinpointed some noises and started digging in that direction. As they dug closer, they started to hear muffled howls and barks, and eventually one of the team broke through into the warren, throwing his shovel aside. He called out to Cookie and started digging with his hands and told, as he brushed aside a pile of dirt, he revealed the stunned and confused face of the trapped dog Cookie had been found. "I knew she was close," said the firefighter who finally made the discovery. "I could hear her, and each time I'd pull away some more mud and dirt, her noises got clearer and clearer. I know she was distressed, but her noises were actually a really big help when it came to freeing Cookie. And then when I finally found her, you could tell how happy she was to see someone again." Kay was over the moon and rushed over as the firefighter pulled Cookie free. She took the dog from them and held it tightly in her arms, hugging it and crying a little bit. Cookie was uninjured but a little shaken up. It certainly was a bit of an ordeal for the small dog, and one that it was a no rush to go through again. With a good wash, plenty of nourishment and rest, Cookie would be on the road to recovery. Kay expressed her profound gratitude towards the firefighters who had gone above and beyond to rescue her precious pet. Vowing to never let Cookie out of her sight again, she made a solemn promise to ensure the safety and well-being of her beloved dog. The story's conclusion is now in your hands. What are your thoughts on this remarkable tale? Would you have been able to locate and rescue the poor dog that was trapped underground? If it were your furry friend in that harrowing situation, how would you have responded? I hope that you liked this video. If so, kindly show your support by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your loved ones. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our channel's latest content. Thank you for tuning in.